as tanks prepare to roll and jets scream over the skies of Washington, D.C. What should have been a grand tribute to the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary is now at the epicenter of a national firestorm. On June 14, a massive military parade, the largest in decades, will blaze through Constitution Avenue, marking a historic milestone for America's armed forces. But the parade's timing, symbolism, and most notably, its connection to President Donald Trump's 79th birthday, have triggered outrage across the country. What was intended as a celebration of military heritage is now being engulfed by accusations of authoritarianism, showboating, and political provocation. President Trump will take his place on a viewing stand just south of the White House as roughly 6,600 troops march past him. More than 150 military vehicles, including 26 N1A1 Abrams tanks and 27 Bradley fighting vehicles, will rumble through the Capitol, accompanied by over 50 aircraft and a dazzling fireworks display. The parade is set to begin at 6:30 p.m., culminating in a spectacle of patriotic pageantry with hundreds of thousands expected in attendance. Officially, the parade is to honor the founding of the Continental Army on June 14, 1775, when Congress appointed George Washington commander-in-chief during the fight against the British. But the date also happens to be Trump's birthday, and that coincidence is proving combustible. Across all 50 states, from New York to Nebraska, protest groups are mobilizing for what could become one of the largest coordinated mass demonstrations in recent U.S. history. At least 1,800 No Kings rallies are planned, spearheaded by the progressive group Indivisible. Their goal, to expose what they call the president's hijacking of a military milestone for personal glorification. Protesters accuse Trump of turning a historic army celebration into a thinly veiled birthday bash, one that uses the full might of the military as a backdrop to his own image. Organizers from Women's March plan to join the uproar under the theme "Kick Out the Clowns," with tens of thousands expected to flood the streets in protest. One organizer summed up the surreal mood that nothing feels more absurd than the idea of the president having a massive military parade on his birthday. The political stakes are sky high. This parade is unfolding during a volatile moment in American history, as President Trump intensifies his use of military force to quell unrest in Los Angeles and other cities. Over 700 Marines were deployed this week to clamp down on ongoing demonstrations sparked by outrage over the administration's immigration enforcement methods, particularly aggressive deportation raids. California officials have warned that Trump's actions are inflaming tensions, not easing them. But the president remains defiant. Speaking from the Oval Office, he dismissed concerns about the protests, labeling demonstrators as people who hate our country and warning that they will be met with very heavy force. He made no distinction between peaceful and violent protesters, sending a chilling message just days before the parade. The broader protest movement sweeping the nation is not solely about immigration. It is a referendum on what many view as Trump's creeping authoritarianism, with critics arguing that staging a military parade in the nation's capital, complete with tanks and fighter jets, smacks of regimes like North Korea or the former Soviet Union. Even Republican Senator Rand Paul has broken ranks, condemning the imagery as un-American. And yet, this parade is no impulsive afterthought. According to officials, planning for the Army's 250th anniversary has been underway for nearly 2 years. Initially intended to be a festival, the idea of adding a parade emerged only recently, reportedly under pressure from the White House. Many believe it was Trump's 2017 visit to France, where he witnessed the Bastille Day military parade alongside French President Emmanuel Macron, that planted the seed. Former aides say Trump returned to the U.S. enamored with the idea of replicating that spectacle on American soil. Critics argue that this obsession has less to do with honoring troops and more to do with emulating strawman theatrics and feeding Trump's ego. Financially, the pageantry comes at a steep cost. Estimates put the price tag between $25 million and $45 million, though exact figures remain murky, especially since the parade portion was added late in the planning stages. At a time when the Trump administration is slashing budgets across multiple federal agencies, the optics of spending tens of millions on tanks and fireworks are raising eyebrows. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll defended the event, claiming it's a golden opportunity to boost military recruitment, but others call it an unnecessary extravagance. And while the parade will be hard to miss for those in Washington, millions across the country may not even see it on TV. CBS, NBC, and ABC are reportedly not prioritizing coverage of the event due to prior commitments, and perhaps more tellingly, because of the strained relationship between the Trump White House and mainstream media outlets. With Trump frequently blasting the press as the enemy of the people, there has been little incentive for network executives to offer primetime real estate for a birthday-adjacent military showcase that many view as politically radioactive. The symbolism is unmistakable. On a day that could unite Americans in recognition of the Army's historic contributions, the country appears more divided than ever. Instead of celebration, there will be confrontation. Instead of unity, there will be opposition. Instead of a tribute to shared national values, the parade has become a lightning rod for debates over democracy, militarization, and presidential power. In the end, whether June 14 will be remembered as a solemn salute to the men and women of the Army or as a moment of deep national discontent may depend on how President Trump chooses to conduct himself and how the public responds. What should have been a celebration of courage and sacrifice has been clouded by questions of motive, optics, and democratic values. As protesters prepare to take to the streets under banners like "No Kings," one message is already clear: this is no ordinary parade. It is a flashpoint in the ongoing battle for the soul of the nation. Your perspective matters. What do you make of Trump's birthday parade, which is set to take place despite nationwide protests and numerous criticisms? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our current affairs channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative future videos. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thank you for watching.